Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm your host on Teaching with Board Games, here today to look at Catching Fish by Hoyle. So this is the second game that I'm looking at by Hoyle. The first one was the Piggy Bank game. And what is remarkable about the Piggy Bank and Catching Fish is that I got them from my local dollar store. So I was really surprised when I'd seen these games, and I can't remember when I'd seen Piggy Bank, if I'd seen others as well, but when I went back for this is the only other one they had, Piggy Bank and this, that's it. But there is a card here that they say they have Sharks in the Wild, Piggy Bank, Catching Fish, 6-in-1 fun pack. So the 6-in-1 fun pack is actually 6 games in the pack. So definitely something I want to look into because I'm a big fan of Hoyle. So let me look into this. I'll maybe contact Hoyle and see if where I might be able to purchase these and do more of these in the future. But let's get to Catching Fish. So in looking at the report card for Catching Fish, I'm going to give the number of players a B. I give it the B because it plays between 2 to 4 players, which is exactly my standard for a B. So that's why it gets the B. For learning, I'm going to give the game an A. I think the game deserves an A because it's, to be given an A, it has to do something exceptional. I think what it's doing here is doing things with numbers which are, to me, almost a little bit reminiscent of City of Zombies, a game I'm absolutely crazy about. But because you are able to play with numbers in certain ways that there isn't like a flashcard where it's one fact and you have to 6 plus 1. What is that? Well, no, because you have a hand of cards, and you are going to be using your hand to make the sums that you need in order to solve what you got on a spinner. And this will all make more sense when you watch the How It's Played section. But so it's not going to be one right answer all the time. And so the fact that kids can play with the numbers and do these things in certain ways makes it more interesting for them to be learning. And I love that about it. It's going to be, the learning is going to be done in a fun way. And it's going to be encouraging kids to play with the numbers and see representations and relationships with numbers too. Because one thing you can do as well, like if you say you have to get the number 7 and you have a 5 and a 2 and a 4 and a 3, well, you can do the 5 plus 2 is 7 and the 4 plus 3 is 7. You can put both down, so you can start to make those connections about which sums equal the same number. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. Then on top of that, they have it so that the game is reversible, and you can do it subtraction, which sounds like, well, so what? But the spinner is reversible, which is kind of the exceptional thing here. I mean, the cards are the cards, but the spinner needs to be different in order to do the subtraction. So it's kind of cool. I mean, the whole thing that they've done is a really good way to, as I say, encourage kids to play. And then even then, when you can't do a sum, so if say the number 7 and you don't have any cards in your hand which equal 7, well, then you can do like the Go Fish game, and you're going to ask somebody else at the table, hey, do you have a 4? And they can just say like Go Fish or no or whatever. But if they do, they have to give it to you, and then you can make your pair that you need to equal that number. So really cool. I really liked it, and I think that it's a great addition for some young kids play. For fun, I'm going to give the game an A. As I was saying before with the learning, I just think there's a lot of fun to be had with this. I think where kids are already big fans of games like Go Fish, this game is way better than Go Fish because it has those elements of strategy in it where you can be using numbers in different ways to accomplish your goals on these, reaching the number you need from the spinner. But also still has that Go Fish in there. So it's not just a simple match numbers thing. It's now one step beyond that, but it's still fun. And I think the kids are really going to enjoy this one, so A for me. For time, I'm going to give the game a B+. It says 15 minutes. I think that's, again, probably a generous time for this game. I mean, I don't think it would even take that long. Once the kids know how to play and can just sort of set it up and go, I think 15 minutes would probably be on the longer side. I think it might even be quicker than that. So nice time on the game, and it's going to be easy for the cleanup and the setup. So B+. For cost, I'm going to give the game an A. Again, I got this game from the dollar store. I think it was like $2 at the dollar store. So wonderful quality game. Again, like with the piggy bank, had the pig thing here. Now it's got the little fish here. It's got nice quality cards in it. It has like a reversible spinner. So it's addition on one side, subtraction on the other. So I think for what you're getting, it's fantastic, especially when it's only like $2. So now, mind you, might be finding them elsewhere, not in a dollar store, but I would gladly pay, you know, $10 to $15 for a game like this for everything that you're getting in it. I think that's a good value. But the fact that I got it so cheap, to me, is the A. But I mean, see where you can find it. But I think, you know, it's a great little game and one you should definitely consider for your collection. Let me take this one to the table and I'll show you how it's played. So this is what you're going to get inside your box of Catch and Fish. You get this nice little tuck box to keep your cards in, and then you have a spinner, and then you have your cards. So to play the game, every player is going to get 7 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I'm the first player here, I'm going to look at my cards. So I've got all these numbers here. Now the wild can be anything you want it to be. And then I'm going to spin my spinner and I get a 7. So I need to find 2 of my cards here which equals 7. Now, so I'm starting to think about that. I've got 8 plus nothing. Well, 8's already bigger, so that's not going to help. 5 plus 3 is 8. So I've got nothing that's going to equal 7. But remember, I have my wild here. So I can use my wild, and maybe I'll use my wild with my 5. And I'll say 5 plus 2 is 7. So I put that down as one set, and I've got 1 point. And then my opponent's going to go. Now you don't draw back up. Oh, so my opponent goes, and they spin the spinner, and they get a 5. So they're looking here, and they have 2 plus 3 is 5. And lo and behold, they say, well, I'm going to do 0 plus 5 is 5. And 5 plus 0 is 5. So now they're only left with 1 card. But they have 3 sets. So I do my next turn, and I get a 4. So I have nothing there. So I have nothing here that's going to equal 4, but maybe I can say I've got 3, and I think, well, 3 plus 1 will equal 4. So I ask my opponent, hey, do you have a 4? Because if you can't put anything down, then you have to ask your opponents if they have something. So they're my only other opponent. So I'm going to ask them, do you have a 1? And they look and they say, nope. You know, maybe go fish. So at that point, I take 1 more card. Now my opponent has 1 card, and so they spin. Now the rules say when you run out of cards that you're supposed to spin the spinner and take that many cards. I think with 1 card here, they can't do anything. So at this point, I would say, sure, spin the spinner. So they spin it, and they're going to take 9 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now they have 9 cards. And there they go. Okay, and so they spin, and they get a 9 again. So they're going to go 8 and 1. And then they'll go all right, 6 and 3. And at this point, they are declared the winner because they have 5 sets. The first person to get 5 sets of sums on their thing is declared the winner. And that's how you do Catch and Fish. That's how you do Catch and Fish addition. Now, you can take out, this thing pops out here. Now, I was at first kind of puzzled because I saw, okay, subtraction side, and so okay, I'll just put this in here. But when I spun it, it pops out. I thought, well, what's up with that? But it took me probably longer than it should have to realize that this pops out too, and you just pop it in that way. And now your spinner clicks in there, and now you can spin it, and you do subtraction. So now you can do your subtraction facts. So now you're trying to subtract to get to a 1. All right, and that's going to be it. And that's how you play Catch and Fish. So Hoyle has done it again. Their first one, the piggy bank game, really surprised me, and this one is just keeping up with that standard that Hoyle has set for fun educational games. And as I said, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to Hoyle, seeing if I can get some more information from them as to where I can get more of these games, because I think they're absolutely wonderful. And so I definitely look forward to doing more of these reviews in the near future. So I just love the way, like I said, that in the beginning, that it's not just going to be one right answer all the time. It's not just going to be like a flashcard where it's like this plus this equals what. It's going to be, you have a number, and now you can use your cards to play with all those numbers. And so as you look through your cards, you're thinking, oh, I got a 1, I got a 4, 1 plus 4 is 5, I have a 3, 3 plus 4 is 7, 3 plus 1 is 4. You know, you're doing all those additions in your head over and over and over again as you're playing, thinking about the game. It's really going to be a great way for the kids to constantly, just as playing with the numbers, just develop their own understanding and motivation to do it, because doing a lot of these addition things when you're flashcards and stuff is boring and repetitious, and just it can be painful for the kids. Not physically painful, but they just hate doing it. But with this kind of thing, when you couch it inside a game, suddenly the kids are doing it but wanting to do it because it's fun. And that's exactly the kind of thing like I wish I'd got when I was younger, because I hated math when I was younger because of the way I was learning it. And no fault to my teachers, but just this is where I come in now, saying this is why I teach things like this, because I want people to know there are alternatives to things like worksheets and flashcards. There's much better alternatives, and I think your kids are going to appreciate it too. So for implementation into the classroom, I would say this one would be good for your indoor recesses. It would be good maybe as a center, having kids play it together. So if you're new to the channel, then what I'm doing is I'm putting out content on a weekly basis on gamification, game-based learning, doing things like reviewing games like catch and fish, showing you alternatives to ways that we teach in the classroom traditionally, that we can do it in a fun way through games, through gamification, and how to implement these kinds of things inside your classroom. If this sounds like something good to you, then please do hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really does help the channel. And remember to hit the little bell icon as well to let you know when I am putting out new content, which, like I said, is on a weekly basis. If you have any ideas for games you might like to see on the channel, whether it be games or topics of discussion or implementation into the classroom or maybe books to review, please let me know in the comment section below. Do love to hear from the viewers, as that way it gives me direction for my channel as to what is valuable content to you. And that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. Until next time, I am Craig Thompson Wood, your host on Teaching with Board Games, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back